What up, you nerds? Papa, Father, Uncle Fallout here, and ever since I put out that video showing people how to best farm the 1K voices, I've gotten a lot of requests asking to do the exact same thing for another hard-to-get exotic, the Anarchy Grenade Launcher. To those of you out there who don't have it, I feel your pain. Not completely though, because I have one, but my sweet lady Anno doesn't, and she's done the raid a whole bunch. Frustrating to watch for sure, especially when you run the raid with a friend who's never done it before, and they get it on their first try. Hashtag Destiny. Before we get going, gotta give a shout out to today's sponsor, Manscaped.
Manscaped.
Fellas, you know the only thing worse than grinding for loot and not getting it? Not taking proper care of your God-given primary weapon. Do you not clean up because you're afraid of getting cut or nicked? That's why they invented the Lawnmower 3.0, you jabroni. It's designed to not scuff up your boys. It's also USB rechargeable and waterproof, so you can use it in the shower, you multitasker you. Clean yourself up the optimal way, lads, and get 20% off and free shipping from your perfect package 3.0 purchase when you use promo code Fallout20 at manscaped.com. That's promo code Fallout20 at manscaped.com. Thanks again to Manscaped for sponsoring today's video. And now, back to the show. Anyway, yeah, the Anarchy, very fun and unique, and normally I wouldn't put out a guide on such old content, but again, because people are actively requesting this from me, I want to help them out. So, how to spend as little time as possible farming for the Anarchy Grenade Launcher. If you didn't know, the only time this can drop is from the final encounter of the Scourge of the Past raid after defeating the final boss. Here's the bad news. For the 1K Voices farm, which is much easier by the way, the Last Wish raid allows you to input a code to teleport you directly to the final Riven encounter, so you can simply jump there each time if your goal is to farm only Riven for the 1K Voices. However, with the Anarchy in Scourge of the Past, there's no known way to skip directly to the boss encounter via some gigantic wall of magic buttons. There is one way to get around this though, but I don't know if you're gonna like it. 3 letters, baby. LFG. Oh, I know. We're getting wild right now. LFG websites, if you don't know, are where strangers go to yell at each other while they party up and attempt to beat raids with each other. It's a mixed bag. You could find a group of people who become close friends for life, or you could relive middle school and cry yourself to sleep later that night. The point is that if you have the ability to find another guardian, be it a close friend, someone in a community you both happen to be a part of, a total stranger, whatever, it might be worth it to try and find a final boss checkpoint encounter for Scourge of the Past so you can skip doing the actual raid. If you don't want to try and find a checkpoint, you'll have to actually go through the entire raid, but just once. When you've reached the final boss fight, save that final checkpoint across all your characters, which, as a reminder, involves joining up, getting the boss to spawn so his health bar shows, then wiping as an entire team. When you have that checkpoint saved across multiple characters, then proceed to beat the encounter. That way you don't need to go through the entire raid 3 times, just once, and then the final boss fight 3 times. So step number 1, get the checkpoint and spread it around. Next, the final boss encounter, which again, even though it's old, I'll give you a walkthrough. The goal is to kill the boss, a giant badass robot named Insurrection Prime. In order to kill him, 2 things need to happen. 1, you need to de-shield him. You can de-shield him by shooting multiple weak points he has on the outside of his body. All of his weak points need to be shot until broken, and you can do this whenever during the encounter. The second thing that needs to happen is once he's been de-shielded, you gotta shoot him with a Drake tank and stun him, beginning the damage phase. Most of this boss fight involves your team trying to summon the Drake tank while avoiding being killed. Here's how the team composition should go. 1 person can be the map reader, which IMO, once you learn how to do it, is kind of the easiest job. Then you need 4 people to be orb fetchers, which you're going to break up actually into 2 groups of 2, Team A and Team B. And the last guardian is kind of a free roamer whose main priority should be killing ads, but also de-shielding the boss, which again is very important. If the map reader or any of the orb fetchers have time, they can also help the roamer in de-shielding the boss when they can. Alright, let's start with the map reader. By killing the first Berserker, who's just outside the map room, you can pick up a Radiant giant battery, aka orb, that they drop, and bring it back to the map room to dunk into a machine. This powers up the holo map and launches the boss fight. The holo map might look a little intimidating if you've never done it before. Trust me, it isn't. It displays a map of the entire encounter. The yellow circles are the guardians in your fire team, and the red triangles represent enemy berserkers. Now, you're looking for a specific berserker on the map who has a giant glowing red orb over their head. Remember how you have two teams of orb fetchers, Team A and Team B? You're instructing orb fetcher Team A to go find the first berserker and deal with him. Here's how you call out the berserker location with this handy map that I drew just for you. Took me all night, please no bully. So the black rectangle is the map of the encounter. Your team spawns in the map room at the bottom. There are 6 locations where the red orb berserker can possibly spawn, but between looking at the hologram map and cross-checking with this image, you should be able to figure it out. When you find the red orb berserker, call out the location, and the orb fetcher Team A is going to head out to find and kill that berserker. Killing the berserker can be tricky. You have to get close to them and piss them off, which makes them activate this weird little bubble shield around them. Being in the bubble slows down and basically tethers your guardian, but you need to be in the bubble to shoot and break 2 packs on the berserker, one on their chest and another on their back. Again, you need to shoot and destroy both of these packs. When you do, the bubble shield breaks and you can murder the berserker like normal. When they die, they'll drop 2 orbs on the ground, which Team A will both pick up. Now, the map reader needs to tell each guardian which orb needs to be delivered to which tank spawn. Check my beautifully drawn diagram again. See, there are 3 tank spawns that form kind of a triangle around the arena. I've labeled them 1, 2, and 3 because if you look at the holo map, they are represented with 1, 2, and 3 green dots above them. If the guardian holding an orb has 1 dot above their head, they need to go to tank station 1 and dunk that orb there. If they have 2 orbs above their head, they have to drop their orb off at tank station 2, and you get the idea. So map reader, tell your orb fetchers where to dunk their orbs, and when you've done that, keep your eyeballs peeled for the second red orb berserker who should be spawning up right about now. Now, orb fetcher Team B should be on the move heading over to wherever you call out the berserker is and doing the exact same routine. When orb fetcher Team B has dunked their final orb, a Drake tank will spawn. Make sure that the boss's shields are down. Again, remember I said that during the encounter, any other fire team member who isn't immediately busy should be shooting and breaking the boss's glowing weak points in order to de-shield. If the boss is completely de-shielded, then blast it with the Drake tank, and now it's damage phase time. In the damage phase, you are shooting the exposed servitor part of the boss repeatedly for damage. There's one mechanic of the damage phase that you really need to pay attention to. Every now and then, the boss will send out what looks like an EMP, a gigantic wave of light. All guardians will get hit by this no matter what. When you do, look down on the bottom left of your HUD, and you're looking for one of 3 words: continuous, angular, or parallel. Now, I expect exactly 0 people to remember all of those words because F that noise, so to keep things easy, most fire teams just focus on the first letter of each word. So C, A, and P. Your fire team will have 2 of each status condition. The goal is to stand next to the other member of your fire team who has the exact same status condition that you do. For example, if you get blasted by the EMP and you have the continuous or C status condition, you want to find and stand next to the other member of your fire team who also has the continuous status condition. If you do stand next to a guardian who has the same condition, guess what? Both of you get a damage buff. Hooray! If you stand next to a guardian who has a different status condition than the one you have, you will both damage each other and eventually die. To make this process non-complicated, check the diagram. Most fire teams plan out in advance where each fire team member will stand. That is what the C, the A, and the P are for. If you have continuous, you'll stand off to the left where the C is. If you have angular, you'll stand kind of in the middle. And if you have parallel, you'll stand off to the right. That way, there's no confusion about who goes where. Every time the boss sends out an EMP, your condition may change, or it may not. You have to make sure that you're checking your HUD every time there's an EMP. If your status condition changes, aka your letter, just make sure you move over and stand in the right spot. It's really that easy. For reference, we usually stand on the ground in front of the map room in our little CAP triangle formation, although you can also do this from inside the map room if you want. For damage, probably a good idea is to load up on snipers. Izanagi's Burden with the Catalyst or Whisper of the Worm, or Darcy, or some hard-hitting sniper with firing line. You can also have a Titan drop a Ward of Dawn bubble off to the side, somewhere that doesn't impede the line of sight to the boss, but close enough where you can quickly run in, grab a damage buff, and get back to shooting. Even though auto-reloading in Warlock Wells is no longer a thing, you can still throw on Lunafaction boots for faster sniper reloading. Remember, up until Season 10, you can still get a faster Izanagi magic bullet reload by maximizing your reload options. It's possible to one-phase the boss, but if you don't beat yourself up over it. It's not like you're out here going for MLG Raid Boss Grand Finals. The worst thing that happens is you gotta two-phase the boss. Just do everything you did all over again. No biggie. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully you have 3 characters on your account in total. That way you can get the checkpoint, then blow through the final fight 3 times in a row, and that's 3 chances every week that you can get one of the most fun weapons in the game, the Anarchy. Really hope somebody out there gets the gun from watching this video. If you do, let me know on Twitter. If you found this guide helpful, please click the like button and don't forget to subscribe so I can grow and eventually achieve my plan of world domination. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.